they really want hard definitive proof. But as far as the DNR goes, like, we didn't have any breeding mountain lion population, in Wisconsin. But what we definitely, absolutely, 110% have, as evidenced by this Milwaukee lion and then now countless, trail cams, is mountain lions are ranging all the way from, like, the Dakotas, through Minnesota, through northern Wisconsin, down to southern Wisconsin, and now all the way into Illinois. It's unprecedented, Gary. Like, it's weird stuff. And I like to think that part of it is, some preservation efforts, but at the same time, it's combined with every other weird, sort of migratory pattern we're seeing from other animals. Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't just a little ominous,
Oh, yeah. Hey, our time is up, and boy, it went by real fast. Now, go ahead and tell everybody how they can find you, your website and your Facebook and whatever, how they can get a hold of you, to report a sighting or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking for any, sighting reports, or just reach out, be a part of the community. You can find us. We're called the Singular Fortean Society. You can find us at singularfortean.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. Just look for the Singular Fortean Society. We just started a YouTube channel under the Singular Fortean Society, and if you happen to be in Northwoods, Wisconsin at the beginning of November, come see me speak. I'm going to talk about winged weird creatures, around Lake Michigan at the North Star Mohican Casino from November 2nd through the 4th.
Oh, wow, great. Now, if, I'm going to invite you, if you get anything you want to, special, let's say, sightings that you want to get out on the radio, contact me and I'll get you right on.
I definitely will, Gary. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Well, you have a great weekend is coming up, and, hopefully it won't be so cold and wet tomorrow.
Yeah. Thanks. Honestly, at this point, I'm used to it. But, you have a great weekend, too. I appreciate that.
Hopefully it's not raining tomorrow if I can at least wash my motorcycle I don't ride. Anyway, my friend.
There you go.
You take care, and I enjoyed having you on the show.
Yeah, you too. Hey, it was great talking to you. I appreciate it.
Okay, sir. Good night.
All right. Take care.
So anyway, what can I say other than, guess what? I don't know if anybody's out listening tonight, because most of the people are downloading lately. I don't understand that, but guess what?
The spooky Friday night call line is now open. Let's hear your scariest story. Call 1-253-203-6695.
You're listening to my friend Gary Anderson on My Dreams Talk Radio, the best in paranormal radio.
Well, I hope everybody's having a great evening, and hope everybody's going to have a great, great weekend. What can I say? Today, I went and sat in my studio chair, which is about 4 years old. I'm not a skinny guy. I'm a kind of big guy. And guess what? It broke. So right now, just to be able to sitting here, I have to be sitting in the middle of the chair and not wobble to the left or the right. Otherwise, I'll be on the floor. So if you hear a bang here in the next half an hour, that's what happened. But, if you got a scary story, you want to get out, Halloween's coming up. You can certainly give us a call tonight at 1-253-203-6695. That's 1-253-203-6695. How can I say, it's kind of disappointing, kind of halfway debunking Mothman tonight. But, it is true. There's a lot of huge birds, and because the climate changes, not just that, logging out the trees, building, houses and building, commercial centers and industrial centers. Some of these things are migrating different directions than they normally do to survive. And I guess if you're out there at night and you see a crane, maybe a 3-foot tall, high crane, flying in the sky with about a 7 to 8 foot wingspan, that could be kind of eerie at night, especially if you're in the area that they're not normally at. I mean, that would kind of really scare me. Reports of Mothman yet? Yeah, I had creatures. People tell me about these creatures that kind of look like the thing like Jeeper Creepers guy, from the Jeeper Creeper movies, where they kind of resembled an ugly, disformed human with massive, wingspan. And again, in Arizona and up in the canyons and all that stuff, there's been reported for the years of a devil-looking type of creature that stands about 4 to 5 feet tall with the wings that fly. Kind of reminds me of a movie they made like that. So I don't know if people are mixing that movie up with actual sightings, but, there's been supposedly reportings going all the way back to the 1800s where, settlers and stuff saw them, and actually where these creatures actually abducted humans. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of folklore and all that stuff, and we have to believe in stuff. I mean, that's just normal. I mean, we grow up with scary type stories told by our parents or grandparents. It's normal. Then you get yourself watching TV shows and the science fiction movies and the monster movies, and get your imagination going too. But I do think there is creatures out there that we don't know of, and it'd be really scary, to run across something that you're, don't know what it is. But I know that there's some species of bats, like in Mexico and in the Philippines and South America, that are huge. We're talking over 3 feet in body length. And, some of them, I've seen pictures of bats. They look like, dragons and stuff like that. Okay, we got a caller. Let's find out. You're on Night Dreams Talk Radio. You got Gary. Who do we have, and where are you calling from?
This is Liz from Missouri.
Well, hi, Liz. How you doing tonight, my friend?
I am doing well.
Well, everybody, this is Liz. She writes a series of books and wrote a series of books of 5. And why don't you tell real quickly about your books that you wrote?
Well, the book series is, let's see, basically it is an alternate version of Area 51. So it's not in the Southwest, not in the desert. It doesn't involve aliens. It is in Missouri, and it involves all types of paranormal activity and creatures and things that people... And with that, the facility, all these things are housed in. There's an incident. They all get loose, and the local sheriff's department has to deal with the issues that arise from it.
That's interesting. And it's a series of 5 books. Why don't you list at least the 5 books for people can get an idea? And where can they find them, Liz?
The 5 books are 51 The Beginning, 51 The Storm, 51 Monsters, 51 Secrets, and the last book in the series is 51 Damages. And all of them can be found on Amazon, both in print and ebook. And also you can order them in print from Barnes & Noble. And the first book you can also find in like the Google Play Store and iTunes, Kobo, several different places.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, I've got a couple of your books, and they are a very good read. I really was impressed, for being a first-time author, what you really did. And you know what? You really get into it. There's a little bit of scariness, a little bit of humor to it, and a little bit of adventure into it.
Absolutely. I was a police officer, and, you have to throw humor in. No matter how serious the situation is that one bad joke or that one person can always break the tension and get you through whatever's going on. And I had to throw some of that in.
Oh, wow. Now, do you have a scary story to tell us there tonight?
I do. To me, it's not that scary. It actually happened in a county neighboring the county I live in.
Okay.
So it's kind of a, I did not witness it, but this is how it was reported.
Okay, let's go for it.
These two men were out coyote hunting late one night, and one was in the blind that they were using, and the other decided he was going to walk to the other end of the field along the tree line to try to kick up some coyotes. And when he was down toward the other side of the field, he whistled to signal to his hunting mate. And his hunting mate answered. But behind him in the woods, there was another whistle. Now, there were only two people out hunting. He could hear something in the woods paralleling where he was. So it was perfectly keeping pace with him, whatever it was. And he kind of thought, maybe a buddy playing a trick or something like that. So he kind of let it go. Well, he whistled again, and the same thing happened. His hunting partner answered from the other end of the field, and whatever was in the woods next to him whistled also in response.
Oh, that would be kind of scary right there.
He picked up his pace, and he was almost to his hunting partner. He whistled the third time. Hunting partner answered, and whatever was in the woods also answered again. They did not waste time when they met up at the hunting blind. They packed up all their stuff, headed for their truck, got the dog loaded, got everything loaded, and proceeded to go back to his house. Well, they made it through the field, crossed a small creek on the property, and were in the field adjoining the house in the barn area. And just as they crusted up into this field, their headlights hit something that was not human. They stopped the truck, and what they were looking at was something he describes as having long hair covering its body, 7.5 tall, and massive, standing upright. It didn't hurry away. It turned and walked and went into the trees. Well, they got out of the truck, and the border collie they had in the truck with them hopped out and ran after this thing. Of course, being farmers, you go after your dog. You have to protect that dog. So they started after it and didn't make it very far before the dog came running back to them and got in the truck and basically waited for them.
Yeah. If they were smart, they should have got in the truck as fast as the dog did.
They did. As soon as that dog got in the truck, they got in the truck too and headed back to the house. Well, it was late at night, so they didn't wake up the parents. They went to bed. And the next morning, the dad goes out and he is feeding the goats. Well, normally these goats are standoffish. They're over on the other side of the pen and just, don't really want much to do with whoever's feeding them. Well, that day, they were crowded around his legs so much he could barely walk. So whatever it was, those goats were terrified of it. Well, a few days later, the mom and dad are putting up Christmas lights, and they hear coyotes, which is normal. Coyotes in the winter in Missouri is expected every night. And that's over on the right side of the field. Well, they hear this almost scream or yell off on the left side.